would like to just invite you for a minute to maybe close your eyes and let yourself be guided into a space that is going to allow you to make the most of this moment, make the most of this presentation, and get back to a better inner space in order to live the rest of your day, maybe your week, your month better. Maybe just starting by breathing and allowing your breath to move inside of your body without thinking, without trying to analyze what it means. Where do I feel called to send my breath and my attention in my body? How can I place attention on the lower parts of my body, the legs, the hips, lower torso, back, arms, head? And how can I come back to my heart? And just with a very simple intention, choose that the rest of this day, the rest of this talk, the rest of this week will be lived from a place of joy, love, and contribution. And whenever I lose those three drivers of sight, I can just come back to them by choosing that this is going to be a beautiful moment and that I'm here to give and to serve. And when you are ready, thank you for coming back to us, ready for a great moment of connection and sharing.
I love that. I feel so much more grounded. And I just like, can you imagine more business leaders who start business meetings like you? Can you imagine? Can you imagine the ripple effect? I love that. You're such an example of visionary and a heartfelt business conscious entrepreneur. I'm so happy that you have the same vision as me. You know, we're part of a mastermind for probably the first year together. We were, you know, before I invited you into this like idea I had, it's Radiant Leaders, and we developed that name together. It wasn't my idea. It was a couple of us who really resonated with that name. And I'm so excited to learn about what you want to share with the audience today. So I'll hand it over to you in your presentation.
Thank you very much. Just a sec. I'm hearing you poorly. I'm coming back. I'll take care of cutting this.
Yeah, you know, it's part of being a global context. Greg is based in France, and distance doesn't matter. We can create business connections all over the world. The world has become smaller and smaller, and you know, even the languages we speak, we can just learn how to collaborate with one another. So I love how global this is. I really wanted this really to be a global summit with conscious entrepreneurs from around the world. And, you know, Greg, you're representing France. So good. I don't know if your connection is better. Are you ready to share your screen? I'll unmute you. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. So yeah, let's get the presentation, which is about how to transform ourselves in order to live the life of our dreams by reprogramming simply the way we operate at a cognitive level, which is the mind and the emotions, the thoughts, the body. How can we reprogram these two vehicles in order to activate the life, in order to activate the us or the me of our dreams? And the first question I would like to ask, because again, there is a very intentional dimension into transformational coaching. But what I want to be central in the work that I do with the people that I work with is that it's not about just growth, it's about aligned growth. Growth as a driver for life, as a driver for joy, growth as a driver for fulfillment, but why? In order to be happy, wealthy, and abundant. Because question, what is life? I'd say this is it. And I think it would be presumptuous to say that there's a broad misunderstanding about what abundance is, but it was a misunderstanding. And one day I got the opportunity to see someone talk about it, and it just blew my mind. So what is abundance? It's just the mere and simple fact of having and knowing that you have everything that you need, how you need it, when you need it, where you need it. And it's feeling whole with what you have and not needing more, which is completely counter to what you want. Where one of the keys of getting there is to first learn to feel that you have everything that you need. A part of the transformation to learn to embrace all of this mindset, this state of being, this truth, this confidence is to understand that if you need something, it is there. And if it isn't there, it means that you do not need it. When you start your journey, this simple sentence and truth seeks to help you remember that wherever you want to go, you can go. No matter where you are right now, wherever you want to go, you can go. So if the purpose of life is to be wealthy and abundant, the question is, are you right now? Are you able to be? And the question is, are you able to observe, see, control, choose, master, and own your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, your state, your shape, your energy, how your relationships are working, how your communication is working, and how your creations are working? Are you creating? Are you creating from the place you want to create from? Is it effortless? Is it aligned? Is it joyful? Is it pleasant? It doesn't mean that you don't have triggers or challenges on the side of it. That's life. But once you're journeying through life, are you creating something that you're happy with? Are you in survival mode, which is lack, stress, fear, past, and a predictable future, referring to the work of the Dr. Joe Dispenza, who's explaining how mind, emotions are the language of the body. Everything that you feel, think, creates an emotion that creates chemical releases that are stored in the body. And from releases, as well as networks, which are circuits of information, sequences, models that are building in mind according to what we have lived in the past. And based on those neurological networks and chemical programming, let's say, we are extrapolating and predicting a potential future. We are projecting a potential. And every time we think about the future, we think about our past because we think from memory of the past. So are you in survival mode, creating from this space, brought into a repetitive life? Or are you in creation mode, where you're in a state of balance, ease, flow, detachment, joy, connected to the present, or directing, or choosing, allowing, or managing to direct your attention to the present moment, and your desired future instead of what you think is possible or coming, whether it's done consciously or intentionally or automatically. Well, I just got a quick start, but are you in survival or creation mode? And before answering to that question, I just want to emphasize the importance of understanding that life is just an area of the mind. No matter how much it is to be a victim of our circumstances, and we all have our own challenges, the life that we live and create is just a mirror of the way our mind is programmed. through epigenetics. We see what we are, what we say, what we do, what we feel and think. So genetics is the science that teaches us how thoughts and emotions and chemical responses that are coming from them can program the body, and even the proteins that they create. Literally, our entire constitution starts with thoughts and emotions. But for true on a behavioral level, are going to drive your words, that are going to condition the way you behave. It's true from an experience point of view, because your belief system is going to lead you to create projections. Through those projections, you're going to perceive a potential reality, just a part of it, not the truth. It is known that the conscious mind only gets less than 1% on us, whereas the conscious mind gets all the rest of it, which means that when you see something, you do not see reality, you see what you are projecting. And then you experience your reality according to your filters. And in the experience that you either have a correction of your belief system, and most of the time, if you do not aim to change and challenge your belief system, you're going to receive a confirmation, which means that you're trapped in the mind, becoming the same mirror again and again until you that this mirror is your belief and you identify to it. Whereas it could change very easily, so you're not aware of it. And the last reason why life is a mirror of what we see, of what we think, is that from a quantum point of view, with proven data that I'm not going to question, challenge, or defend because it is outside my scope of expertise, to different researchers, including after the Mr. Einstein discovered what the quantum world was, other searchers try to maybe dismantle or explore or deepen his work, his findings. And what they realize is that when you observe what is happening at a quantum level, you see that there is a disturbance, there is difference that's happening into their when they're observed or not by an observer. Meaning that in quantum field, what is happening beyond matter, what is happening in the world of quantum physics, which is basically mostly only energy. In this world, everything exists as a potential. Nothing is yet created. It is void, pure potential. When you observe an electron that is in the quantum field, the second an observer places attention on the electron, there is something that it collapses into a particle, which is matter. Okay, it becomes potential. It comes from a potential to a reality. And if you repeat it enough with another series of circumstances that are adding up on the right, this creates a particle collapsing, the law of wave collapsing or something that I don't remember precisely. Tells you that where you place your attention in the past, present, the future, you're driving energy. And when you're placing this energy, creating. So life is a mirror of the mind. Which leads us again to that question. Are you able to be happy, wealthy, and abundant? And if your life is not making you wealthy and abundant right now, what is the reason why? Here are a couple of reasons why you might not be able to experience this. It can come from adulthood, or which we call transgenerational. And whether it's coming from now or before, there are experiences such as, let's say, traumatic or traumatizing experiences that can lead to storing emotions, beliefs, stories, blockages, whether they're the body, the mind, and the energy, and these experiences or the environment or the culture around you can interfere in the way your mind is working, projecting, perceiving, responding, receiving, but also in the way you believe to be and work. So as long as you're conditioned by the conditioning that has led you to create the mind, the behaviors, and the reality you now have in your life, until you can change something, until you can free yourself from this conditioning, none of the results are going to change. Nothing that you want to change for yourself, whether it's within or not, is going to change, because life is a mirror of your mind and your energy. The question is, what do you need to free yourself from the past? And what do you need to step into the future you and the future you want to create? See how important it is. Oh, sorry, I thought there were 3 E's. So in order to free yourself from the past and stepping into the future, you first need awareness. And it starts by observing yourself. Can you observe your thoughts, your emotions? Can you see them? Can you recognize and acknowledge what's coming from survival, lack, fear, etc.? What's coming from creation, abundance, love, joy, hope? That's the easy part. When you commit to it, when you commit to doing the work, that's the easy part. The more you do it, the more you see. But then that's where the job gets tricky. Can you choose to not choose them anymore? Can you choose to choose something else? Can you choose another pattern, another sequence, another emotion, another feeling, another perception, another experience, another creation? Can you, or can you? Can you choose change? And that's so simple. That's a very simple, but that's a very powerful one. If you can leave this presentation with just one takeaway, it can be just those 3 words: change over repetition. There's no need for understanding. There's no need for mastery, no need for nothing. If you can change and choose change over repetition, your life is going to change. And you start to change the way you choose to think, fear, to respond, the choose that you no longer want the way your body is programmed, and the mind going to the neurological program. You're changing the result of the conditioning that you have created and received from your past, which is creating. So the second you can change instead of repeating, you're changing. So your life is changing. But the problem is that it's not because you choose that you want to change. It's not because you choose that you want to choose something different that you are able to do it. Because all those choices are operated at a certain, and the deeper the emotions, situations, or traumatic experiences, or whatever has led you to make those decisions subconsciously, the deeper the root of this decision with the body and energy, the hardest is to override it and be able to not operate it and to operate something else instead. So what you need is to understand how you can get in yourself, mind, body, and emotions and energy, and how you can first deprogram at the original, at the core of where the information is stored. Understand what part of your psyche has decided that strategy beneficial for you. Well, maybe I need to explain a bit more about this. When we are kids, or even when we are adults, our entire nervous system, the way we're constituted, we are built to survive. We are built to live and thrive, but we are also built to adapt and to survive, which means you can live and thrive in the greatest environment, but you can adapt and adjust to the hardest and the most ruthless environment and still operate perfectly. That's what our nervous system is designed for: adaptation, pure, limitless adaptation. When we leave a situation or an emotion that is exceeding the capacity of mind to navigate or manage or handle whatever what you are experiencing, there is a safety mechanism that is being triggered. And this safety mechanism is to protect your psyche, your mind, physiologically, chemically, or your body. When you leave a traumatic situation or emotion, what happens is there's a part of you, because the psyche is fragmented. It's hard to say, guys, sorry. It's made of different pieces that are put together and operating as one, but different parts can make different decisions at the subconscious level. When one of those parts identifies a threat, it is going to choose a strategy to defend and to protect you against this threat. So if you leave an emotion or a situation that's too big for you to either handle because your brain is not ready to take such a powerful emotion, i.e., you are a kid, or because it is directly threatening your life, or it is threatening your identity, the ego doesn't like that, or your social safety, or your financial safety, or your physiological safety, regardless of whatever it means, the second your mind it is going to do to ensure that you will not leave the emotion or the situation ever again in your life. So how does it make sure that you don't leave it? It can either ease and start feeling. It can either have you and start running away or towards something. It can be more success, more love, more money, or it can be running away from all of this. It can also be more subtle. It can be you don't want to get closer from spiders, or you don't want to be touched by someone that you love. You don't want to be intimate. You don't want to fall in love. You don't want to be in business. You don't want to become an entrepreneur. You don't want to whatever. And deprogramming means that you, the part that has made this choice to protect you at a time where it are allowing this part to realize this choice isn't serving you anymore, and that you don't want to have your voice shut every time you try to talk in public, that you don't want to have your body freezing every time you try to connect with someone, or that you don't want to have your mind freezing every time you're trying to, I don't know, compete in a chess tournament. You see it, you help the mind and the psyche realize that it isn't working for you anymore, and you lead this part of yourself to realize that it is time to let go. You help it let go, and then you put something else. You go from survival and limitation to creation and the unlimited self. Deprogramming and reprogramming after reprogramming. So how do you free yourself? You have to understand the mind, energy, and how your hologram work. And it means that every single thought, emotion, belief, intention, or a course that you have is vibrating at a certain frequency. And the more you put awareness and attention there, referring to Tony Robbins, where the focus goes, energy flows, the more you empower the thoughts, emotions, and belief and intention, etc. So Are you placing awareness on it and attention on things that are serving your growth and your creation, that are empowering you or limiting you, healing you or making you sick, serving you or not serving you? And the idea is just to observe, acknowledge, get to the part of yourself, referring to what we just explained, where you can renounce this choice mechanism, whatever, and surrender it to a greater consciousness for your body, your heart, and your spirit. You just choose to change. It's just about sometimes closing your eyes, and I'm not going to go much into this because it's complex if you want to go and to understand the process properly. But very simply, if you want to create change right now, start observing yourself, what you want to keep. Close your eyes, allow yourself to relax. When you're doing this, connect to your body, your heart, your spirit, and just say, here's what I don't want to keep anymore. Here's what I don't want to entertain anymore, whether it's an emotion, a belief, or a pattern, because it isn't loving to me, it isn't serving to me anymore. So I let go and I surrender you. Thanks for helping me free myself from it. And just like that, life is going to change, although it might start out a roller coaster session, but it will change. JD, how are we with the timing, please?
Good, but I would love to do just some, conversation, Q&A with you. So, yeah, I would love that.
How much time do we have?
Probably 10, 15, maybe 15 more minutes to visit.
Okay, good. Perfect. So, from feeling to choosing, and from healing to manifesting, there is in our journey, whether it's for internal manifestation, healing, growth, or external manifestation, there's a duality where you can go in two opposite, different, and complementary directions. You can follow the fear and follow the joy, and you will shine. And it's something that I've written a couple of years that I hold very dear into my heart, that I take with me everywhere I go, and I just pin it on a wall or whatever. And the entire saying is, follow the fear on your healing journey, follow the fear, and you will. And on your manifestation journey, follow the joy, and you will shine. What does it mean? It means that if you want to heal, you have to go from survival to creation and from limits to being unlimited. You have to train your mind and body to choose the choice and the story that is serving you, that is empowering you for the better, the highest that you can, the highest expression you can find. Healing is just about identifying all the parts of you, all the places, all the spaces where there's a story that's telling. The story of lack, the story of pain, the story of hurt, the story of limitation, the story of I'm not enough, or I can't, or I'm not worthy, or I don't deserve, or I can't allow, or it won't work for me, whatever. Everywhere there's fear, and stuck or unlived survival emotions, trauma, limits, there's a space that is just waiting for your awareness to open a boulevard for growth. This healing journey is not about constantly digging into pain and into the dirt. It's not about drowning or swimming into it, because it's just going to place too much energy and attention or on something you don't want to entertain and create. It's just about allowing yourself to see and what is here, allowing yourself to name it and to choose that you do not want it anymore. So that's how following the fear on your healing journey will allow you to shine. You have to prepare yourself for the real journey, which is the manifestation journey. And the manifestation journey is how you can choose to turn your attention, turn your energy, turn your programming from past to future, fear to love, being limited to unlimited, being a victim to a creator, choosing to think about what's possible or about what you want. Leaving possible and possibility aside and just focusing your energy in what do I want? And again, where you place your attention in the quantum world is where potentials become particles. And if you do it enough, with enough energy, with the right conditions meeting and the right timing meeting, you can collapse possibilities into reality. So this entire journey is about learning to be greater than the body and the stories that the body, the beliefs that are related to what I need to sleep. So you do, but to a certain extent, you will realize that the more you train your mind to say the truth, becoming greater than the body, the environment, and time. And if you want to be able to do this, because maybe you have done this work already, and when you hear my work, you're like, yeah, of course, I know it. That's what I'm doing. If you haven't done this yet, you haven't released all the stuck and leave survival emotions and programs and conditionings, when you're hearing this, you might be thinking, who's this guy? What is he on? Like, did he take something before getting on that call? And in order to be able to allow yourself to believe in all of this, you first need to do the preparational work, let's say foundational work. And that's where magic starts to happen. So how do we go from survival to creation? First, we change our mind, our emotions, and our energy, and then we change our reality. What is survival? Survival is a state in which our can we do this later? Oh, yeah, no. Well, let's keep going with this. So, what is survival? Survival is a state in which our emotions, brain, and heart become incoherent, and there's a disalignment between our thoughts, our intention, and our actions. Okay, maybe I believe something to be true, which is usually limiting. I intend to do something that might be different or the same, but I'm doing something else. Creation is where these thoughts, intentions, and actions are aligned. And what is going to allow this is that there is a coherence in our brain waves patterns and our heart waves patterns. In survival mode, we are driven very material things. We are just pure ego. We are our traumas, the expression of our traumas and limiting beliefs. We're striving, we are running after survival. We tend to be triggered by fear or by anything external. We're identifying to our inner narratives, our limits, our wounds, to whatever is happening outside of us that is triggering. I think it's because of the environment and we're a victim of it. And what it creates is that it places us in a space mentally, neurologically, where our brainwaves are going into a state of high alert, which is clearly limiting and damaging our cognitive abilities, our brain, and our bodies. So this is literally creating that are never ending and making our mind, brain, and bodies sick. Creation is the complete opposite, is learning to find a piece of feeling relaxed, feeling centered, feeling that everything is already here, and allowing ourselves to just create. What is important for you? What would you like to create if you could just create something that is coming from your heart? If you were already abundant and safe and you had the life you dream to have, what would you be doing right now? Would you be walking, running, doing business, recording videos, painting, reading, singing, playing music? What would you be doing? How would you be creating? Would you be cooking? Would you be creating clothes? Would you write? What would you create? How would you joyfully, effortlessly, generate, create, and overflow all of this abundance and give it to the world? And if you want to have a taste of this, you can just close your eyes and ask yourself, how would it feel to have everything that I want to have and to be everything that I want to be? And it's already there. It's not in the future, I'm there. It's me right now. How would I act? Just feel it. Who would I be if it was already there? What would I create if I was creating for the sake of creating as a towards yourself and your art, not pleasing, not succeeding, not selling, not doing good, just creating what is inside your heart and sharing it with the world. Just creating what makes you feel and enjoy. And what would your life look like if it was just an extension of your soul, moving from a life lived from within the heart to a life lived from the mind, to a life lived from your heart, thinking less, feeling more. So, how much time do we have left, Jay?
Yeah, our time is up. I really want to just connect for a few minutes, so our audience gets to meet Greg more, and so I would love to just have a few minutes just to speak with you before our next
So
speaker
let's go.
comes on. Yeah,
Let's go. I'll stop the screen sharing then.
perfect. I will.
Early again.
Good. I will. I want to be able to see you. I'll put. Yes, you can start your video again. Are you able to? Oh, good. Yeah, I just want, yeah, the internet wasn't so good. So I turned your video off, but I want people to get to know you. So I had a few takeaways. I have a list of takeaways that I wanted just to repeat impact from your presentation. I think the last line of what would my life look like if it was an extension from my soul, moving from the mind to the heart. I think that's the essence of this summit. And I think this is the goal of why I'm doing this summit. Hey, let's move from the mind to the heart, back into the heart. I'm always talking about the logical mind and intuition, but how can we be as business owners like that? And so I love that line. And you know, the manifestation journey, takeaway, manifestation journey is a choice, going from the limited to the unlimited, and just really where you put your attention and energy. And we can really work on observing ourselves, really looking at connecting to our heart, surrendering to a greater consciousness. I love that you're talking about one of our biggest. I love how you're speaking a lot about blockages. The presenter just before, Shraddha, she's the India's intuition expert, and she was talking about like where blockages come from. So anyone who wants to purchase the VIP package can really listen to all these replays and actually have access to Greg and your VIP gift as well. But kind of, we're all saying the same things. That's why I wanted it to be like a worldwide summit, because conscious leaders from around the world, we have a lot of the same message, which is important and needs to be repeated. You were saying a change, you know, it happens by repetition. I love that you're talking life is the mirror of the mind.
If I
Go ahead.
Sorry, if I may, it's true also that change happens by repetition for so many reasons. But the message was also, can you choose change over repetition? Meaning when you're stuck into a life and you try to change things, you tend to try to change things by doing always the same things. You know, you have your identity, your routine, your lifestyle, etc. And you're expecting the same life, the same sequences, the same patterns to have a different result. But 2 + 2 = 4, and 4 is never going to change unless you do what's coming before the equal sign. So if you want to change your life and it doesn't work, just and it's going to change.
Yeah. Yes. More like instead of repetition, change instead of repetition. from now I
Sure.
understand more like that. Yeah. And I love how you're talking about creation mode. To be in creation mode is being at full of joy in our flow, detachment. How often as business owners are we so attached to something in our mind? And there's just, I love how you use the word pure potential, pure limitless, and we're beings that are supposed to adapt. As business owners, we're supposed to adapt. One of the presentations that has already been recorded by, I call them my visionaries from Costa Rica, we were talking about how to humanize AI, and I'm super resistant as a business owner. I was super against it and resistant, and they're like, JD, it's already here. As a business owner, you have to adapt to change and things. And I just almost see that resistance coming up within myself. So those were some huge takeaways that I received from your presentation. I know people can work with you and do have your own specific website that you want to share with this recording now.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me check.
Yeah, people won't see it, so you can just say it out loud.
Can I?
People won't see it.
Yeah, it's called genuinehumans.com, but it will be in French. So I think the best, and it's what I wanted to offer. It's if you resonated with this presentation and you want to just have a chat, there are two things that I wanted to offer. One that might be premature for now. It was a group meditation to just connect to this moment, mindset, intention together, action activated. But it might be a bit more complex because we are live, then there's be a replay, so I don't know how it can work. I'll think about it, and if I can find a viable solution, I'll go with it. Otherwise, I will give you a link to maybe a 30-minute session where we can just discuss if you have any question, if you want to know how to do more, if you want to have a chat, maybe working together. How would that, does that reply to that question? Does it answer what you just asked?
Yeah, it's really, your coaching strategy is so unique. Genuine Humans, I was really drawn to. And yeah, it's just nice. I guess I just wanted everyone to meet the other founder of Radiant Leaders, radiantleaders.org. And so do you have a specific vision in the future, a specific dream for Radiant Leaders in the future, Greg?
But it the dream I have for genuine humans that maybe will become during my meditation journey, I experienced a place in a space where you really feel like on a blockchain. All of us at a structural level, at a macro level, we are holding all the knowledge, all the experience, all the wisdom, all the tools or the resources that we would need to drive the next big shift of consciousness of humanity. But the thing is, all of these resources are compartmentalized because of ego. I'm afraid to say that I have this struggle, or you're afraid to say that you have this one. But you have A, I have B. You have the key for B, I have the key for A. And unless I can say, I'm starting with A and you tell me, I'm starting with B, and I say, hey, I have the key. And you can tell me, oh, me too. And then it's a positive, mutual expansion. Unless we can do this and create together from a place of sharing and abundance and creation and not lack and survival, not much is going to happen. So my dream is this, coming together as a community, no matter the size, where we can work together beyond the ego, beyond the me, beyond limitation and survival, and just create for the sake of creating, giving and empowering and making impact. That's my dream.
I love that. So I encourage everyone to go onto our website, www.radiantleaders.org. You can meet us, contact us, see our events, see our free resources, and even have access to see these replays on the virtual summit. So thank you again for your time, Greg, and I look forward to our next business meeting.